Up with left because we have honey baked ham. So that stuff is wicked
Baked
good. I like the
ham.
crust. I just eat the crust. It's like the sugar. Like when I'm making the sandwich, I'm just peeling the crust off the rest of the pieces of the box. So good. Hey everybody, happy Friday. Look who's here. Pam's
I'm
back.
back
And
for a little bit.
yeah, she's here for a brief 48-hour stint. This time of year, it's good just to check in. Everything's standing. Okay, let's get out of here.
I know. I breezed through my house. I'm like, hey, house, how are you?
Hey, good. Dust it. Okay, out. See you. We'll be
Yeah,
back
somebody better dust. It's bad.
Yeah, so we are going to do like we've been doing. We're going to do the listener question show here in just 1 second. And then Ricky's going to hop on with us after this show. So we'll do the three of us for the next show. And we'll talk about Pam's recent trip. Ricky was just there over the weekend as well. Just kind of find out what you need to know for the holiday season down at Walt Disney.
No, the holidays. And look at Mike's new fancy studio.
Wah, 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 wah. Happy birthday to me. I'm in a new chair that I got for my birthday yesterday. Yes.
Wow, you're all fancy.
No, look. No.
Oh, there you go.
Back up. Hang on. No, wait. No. I haven't had one of these since I taught school.
I know. Like when you get a height set in your chair, something that you're comfortable with and work every day. Like when you try working like at a hotel or whatever, you're like, what? I can't even work like this. It's not the right height.
I know. I'm still trying to find it. It's a little bit pitch forward. Like I got to get the
pitch back. Yes.
The pitch isn't right quite yet, but
yes.
I'm still breaking it in. It's been 24. By the way, so you're getting old when my 2 gifts that I got, 3 gifts like I got for my birthday, and I am so excited. Okay. I got my office. Like my whole life, teachers always want offices, right? Because teachers never have an office. They have a classroom. Right. You have to share with like 30 grubby kids. So like it's a teacher's fantasy to ever have an office or cubicle or anything like that real people have at work. So I finally at 49 have an office. So I'm like, I can sleep in here. Like I love this. Like I've not left since I've gotten this. So I have this, I got a chair, and I got a pair of warm UGG boots for now. Do you have a pair of UGG boots? Because they're mostly for women, I think. But
so I have a slippers, like I was like a fuzzy slipper thing. Yeah.
So these things are life changing. Again, I've only had them for like 1 day because we've had these football games, that we go to a lot. And we've had like earlier in the year, we had some super cold weather where it was like in the teens or like low 20s for the football games on Friday.
Yeah.
And I'm fine because like I have all this running gear, right? Like I have the Nike thermal stuff. I have like, those things you put in your hand warmers.
Right.
I was good, but I was like, God, my feet hurt so bad. I have 2 pair of socks on, but I just had sneakers. And Pam would be sitting next to me like, oh, my feet are so warm because I have these UGG boots. I'm like, shut up. I'm like in pain. Like my feet are so cold. And so she got me some of those and I put them on. I mean, they're like,
yes,
they're like house slippers, but they're so warm. They're just fuzzy on the inside. Oh my, but they're real boots. You can wear them outside and they're for men.
Well, so I'm going to change your life again because we, for Thanksgiving, had gone up to Boston and we went to this botanical garden. It was all lit up like for the holidays. And Jocelyn got me these, like the hand warmers. There are feet warmers.
Oh yeah, well I had toe warmers in my shoes when my feet were still. That's how cold it was.
Oh my gosh!
So because that same brand that makes the hand warmers, like
that's what she gave me. Yes.
They're called toe warmers, and check this out. I had 2 in each foot. I had 1 on the bottom.
Oh my gosh, Mike!
And my feet were still hurting. That's why I was whining. It's a good thing we were killing the other team in football, or else I'd have really been whining. And we get to go. We're in state this weekend, so I'm pumped about that. Mallory gets to cheer at Mizzou, so
that's very exciting.
That's why in dead center I have Viking horns because those are going to Columbia on Friday, and those Viking horns do light up. By the way, Friday show I might bust those out for the second show. And
you'll know that you're super old when you get a favorite spatula, right? I just bought Steve a new spatula, and you would have thought that I gave him like $2,000. He's like, this spatula is fantastic.
I reflected on that. I'm like, I got boots, a room that was pages, and a chair. And I'm like, yes. Like 5 years ago, I'd have cried if those were my 3 gifts.
And now you're like, yes. Yeah. I had to hear about the spatula this morning. He was like, hey, literally, the spatula is fantastic.
I'm going to boot Riley out of here. Well, maybe she won't bark. Well, she probably will. Riley, this whole reason I got a door was to keep her from barking, but I'll roll the dice. She loves being in here, so I hate to boot her out. So
It's so nice when you work from home to have a pet to like
yeah,
talk to. They get excited when you go for lunch. You can talk to them or complain to them, like
totally.
whatever.
Well, because she always gets a little snack at lunch. If I have turkey, she gets a little turkey, a little ham, whatever. And besides Rhonda Lee, she's the #1 fan of the show, in Canada. So.
Yes.
I mean, Rhonda Lee's always here first, Riley second. Riley doesn't always get to the studio quick enough. All right, let's do this. So we have episode 2198, and then we're up to episode 2200 for Friday. Holy smokes!
Craziness.
I'm telling you, where'd the shows go? Did I hit the tweet? I think I did. Yep. Okay. And I got this big, huge TV on the wall right in front of me, so I gotta watch. I'm not distracted. Like if you see my eyes pop up, it's just the news on right now. So, like on Sunday night, it's terrible. Sunday nights during the live show because football's on. I was super we called Scott last night during the live show, and we talked to him. When he answered the phone, he was on the second lift hill of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. So you got to listen to the last 10 minutes of the show when it comes out on Thursday. He's like, hello? I'm like, Scotty G, what are you doing? I'm on the second lift hill of Big Thunder. I'm like, take us for a ride. He did. We talked to him the whole ride. It was awesome. Anyway. No, not a Minnesota Viking fan, a Francis Howell Viking fan, soon to be Missouri State champions. All right, here we go. I mean, I don't hate the Minnesota Vikings. I'm not from Minnesota. And I'm not
Minnesota.
Minnesota. I don't have lots of friends that are. All right, here we go. Welcome to episode 2198 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having a great week. And of course, this week is not as awesome as last week. Last week, this time, we were getting ready to have the turkey, watch the football, and hang out with friends and family. But hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. You got friends. And you got your virtual family here with you today. And I still have some football to look forward to in about 48 hours. I can't wait, but we'll talk about that on Friday. But we're going to have a good time talking Disney and answering your listener questions, as we've been doing since 2008, if you can believe it or not. And again, coming to you live from the new Be Our Guest Podcast Studios. Excited for the new digs. And joining me today to answer those listener questions, she is freshly returned from Walt Disney World and getting ready to head out to Disneyland herself. She's going out to the West Coast. We have Pam Forrester. She's the co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday, Pam. What's going on?
Happy Wednesday. First of all, love the new podcast studio. It's awesome. Love all the stuff. I will look forward to seeing how you like change it up, like during all the during the seasons. I don't do that. Maybe I should consider that, but I don't do that. It's always sort of the same stuff. But yes, I love it. It looks so great. And yes, world to land. And it's like there's a little different process in planning each one and making the park reservations and doing all that. So like I'm like, today I opened up the Disneyland app and like, okay, do I remember how to do this? Yes, I do. Okay, I'm good to go. So looking forward to it. And I love a year where I get to see the holiday stuff in Disney World and Disneyland. Like that's a pretty good year.
So a couple mornings ago, as I was, I get my morning walk or run in on the treadmill first thing in the morning, head down to the storage room, listen to my favorite podcast. And I was listening to Matt Parrish from 3028. He just got back with his family from Disneyland holiday trip and just could not say enough good things about. He really was just going on and on about California Adventure, the atmosphere, the snacks, the decorations, and of course Disneyland as well with Small World, the projection show. It turns into nighttime, and so the Haunted Mansion holiday stuff like that. But what are you looking forward to? Because we're going to kind of talk about what you just had at Walt Disney World. But you've been there during the holidays. What are you excited for at the West Coast resort there when you head out this week?
So, I mean, of course I would be remiss if I didn't say Haunted Mansion holiday, right? Because it is the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay of the Haunted Mansion that they do each year at Disneyland. And it's just such a unique thing. I love it. I understand why they don't do it at World and Land, but dang, every time I'm out there at the holidays, I'm a little jealous. of that. I also like the Small World holidays. I think that's a really cute thing that they do each year at Disneyland. They sort of transform that. I love the projections on Small World too. I think that's really cool. And could they have better looking holiday snacks for us? I mean,
Insane.
I, I'm just even well, Disney World really stepped it up this year too, but I'm just like I can't believe all these snacks. And there's something about Disneyland. We always talk about that. I think there's a real nostalgia. Mike, you felt it when you were out there, that kind of thing. It's a different experience. And I'm staying at the Disneyland Hotel, and I actually like all three of the hotels for a different reason. I can't wait to see how they're going to be updating Pixar Pier. I think that will be a really, really cool overlay, not overlay, but like, I guess a retheming
yeah.
Paradise. Sorry, Paradise. I called it Pixar. Like this, like the area, but
Paradise Pixar Pier.
Right. But I love Grand California, and I think it's beautiful. I love the Disneyland Hotel, though. There is something about that feels so classic to me, that I love it. So love them all, but yeah, gonna get to stay there this time. So doing some work there, going out for a conference. We get to go out for the earmarked agency owners summit, which is where they pull all the owners of the agencies that have been designated an earmarked agency. So
if they ask about theme park reservations, Mike Roman says get rid of them. Just saying, just in case they want to know what my vote is, just in case you run across anybody in the C-suite. Just
right.
Hey, what's Mike think? This is just.
Yes, we'll see. We'll see if they say that, and they'll say
Bob's floating around.
Right.
You never know. I mean,
Bob's or Josh's will be more likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know. You'll see. And real quick, before we answer the first question, shout out to Alan, who is tuned in live in the UK pavilion, watching us live here on Facebook, it looks like. And Sherry is tuned in from the Candlelight Processional, also in Epcot.
Oh, very cool.
You guys are doing it right. I'll take a Scotch egg and what's the Candlelight Processional? The Solitary Life. That song.
I love everything about the Candlelight Processional. If it's like one of those things, if I'm in Epcot and I hear it, I'm like, oh, it's a Candlelight Processional. So you just got to watch it.
And shout out to Scotty G, who is sitting at MCO as we speak from his epic adventure.
Oh, the ride home.
Yeah. There you go. But also kudos to him for taking us live during the call-in show on Sunday night. We rode Big Thunder Mountain. I called him live usually we take calls. That's how the Sunday Night Live show is supposed to work. Like we take calls. No, I reversed it. I called him and he answered on the second lift hill of Big Thunder. So tomorrow, make sure you listen. Even if you got to fast forward to the end of the show, it's the last 10 minutes. It was epic. He's like, hello? I'm like, where are you? Second lift hill, Big Thunder. I'm like, okay, here we go. It was epic. I was scared to death he was going to lose his phone. Anyway, let's get to the questions. Jenna's got a question. Hello, BOGP crew. I'm loving the new cartoon with Scotty G represented. Yes, we appreciate it. It's awesome. He's got little elf ears and a figment hat and all kinds of stuff. She says, I'm headed down to Walt Disney World for a solo springtime surprise trip. I haven't been to Disney World since I was 8 years old. I have 3 days of tickets and I need to plan which parks to go to. Currently, I'm thinking the Studios, Magic Kingdom, and Epcot. I'm coming back in July with my husband and 3 kids. One of my children loves animals, so I thought it might be nice to save Animal Kingdom to first experience with her. They didn't have it when I was 8. I'll be flying in Thursday morning and leaving on Tuesday morning. I'm doing the challenge, so she's there for the race weekend. So Monday will be my only full day to explore without a race. Thursday, I plan to do the expo. Friday and Saturday, I'll have the race and then time to go to a park after. And Sunday, I plan to have a rest pool day after the 10-mile race. When should I go to each park? Which park should I save for Monday? And she says, I do go to Disneyland every year, so perhaps I should optimize for things we don't have on the West Coast. That said, we're coming back for 4 days in July as a family. I'd love your advice as I don't know where to make my reservations. Thank you. I love your podcast. It feels like we're all friends, and I can't wait to meet some lizards at the springtime surprise race weekend. Thanks, Jenna. Okay, so let's think about this. So I believe it's spring surprise. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5K, 10K, 10 miler. so that way we can have the races. And she's got 3 days of tickets. I agree. Save Animal Kingdom or
Mhm.
with your kid if they're a animal fan. And there we go. I should have closed the door and taken Riley out, but I didn't. She wanted to cheer in for the as soon as I said Animal Kingdom, she had to, get in on that.
She had
So
something to
anyway,
say.
so I would do the studios, Magic Kingdom, and Epcot totally if you haven't been there since you're 8. I mean, that to me, that's a
Yeah.
no-brainer. So Expo Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, she wants a rest day after the 10-miler pool day, rest day. I
And
get
then
that.
Monday.
How would you lay the
So
park?
you tell me, Mike, because I feel like Epcot typically has the most walking. Do you want to get that in before your races, or do you want to save that until Monday? Because that was that was the thing I was most, sort
So the thing I would think about is where do you because she's gonna have all of her medals by the end of the race weekend. So
right,
Monday might be that day that you and I don't know if she has a park hopper. But the thing is, you might want to get your pictures in front of Cinderella Castle with all your medals. So if so, Monday would be your Magic Kingdom day. Also, it's kind of like everybody's favorite park. I don't. You're Disney. I know she's based on the West Coast because I help
right.
book her trips. So maybe Magic Kingdom isn't the be all and end all for her because she goes to Disneyland all the time, and there's a similarity between those two parks. Maybe Epcot's going to be the cool thing because it's so different. So I would say, yeah, there is a lot of walking at Epcot though.
There is, and the other thing I was thinking of, if you want to do Guardians of the Galaxy, you want to be trying to get in that virtual queue. And is that going to be better off being a day that you aren't running at all? These are the things I'm thinking about. I don't have a good plan for on what to do, but these are the things I would consider. I think Hollywood Studios is, again, fairly easy to go. It's not a ton of walking, it's not a huge park. And but there are definitely things you're going to want to see, like Rise of the Resistance and Slinky Dog and Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway. Those are, all three big attractions that you're going to want to see that day. I would consider Genie Plus for sure. If you're inclined to do that, because it will give you just more options. And if you do have park hopping options, it's also really easy to pop to another park. So
Right. So what I might do, I'm just thinking about this. I might go Thursday, just do the expo. It's your rival day. Enjoy the resort. Maybe go to Disney Springs. Go to the expo. Take your time, because you feel stressed. Like the expo takes more time than you think. You think I'm just going to
mhm.
pop over and out in an hour. It does. It takes an hour, more than an hour, just to get there and back. Like with the buses, and then
Yeah, where the bus drops you off is
yeah,
sometimes far away from where the actual
it's
expo
walking.
is.
It's a
Yeah,
lot of walking because you're from one building
it
to get a
is.
bib, the other building to get shirts, and then you might want to do some shopping with the vendors. It's not as big at Spring Surprise, but it's still, there's a lot to do over there. So take your time. I mean, enjoy the experience. So Thursday, resort time, Disney Springs, get something cool to snacks, dinner at Disney Springs, something like that. Friday, I would do studios. Saturday, I'm going to say Epcot. It's still, it's a 6 mile race. No, no. Well, it's killing me though because you want to save your legs though for the 10-miler. You don't want to farm
Right.
it on.
I know, that's what I was thinking
Then
too.
Monday, you want to have your medals pictures at the Magic Kingdom. Well, I mean, get your medal pictures in front of Spaceship Earth
I
on
think it's
Monday.
a great,
I've done
or
that. I've done
the
that.
countries.
Or the countries. Yeah.
And there's also, I think, in the Italy pavilion, when you can stand there and have Spaceship Earth way behind you, that's a really cool photo as well.
Okay. Like I said, if you see any Bobs this week, tell them to get rid of the park reservations, and then we don't have to answer this question again. This question is driving me crazy already. I'm just saying. Exhibit A right here. Have them tune in for the first 10 minutes. Okay. Next question is from Ashley. Hey, Mike and team. What is your ideal non-park day to explore and rest? After 2.5 days at Disneyland last week and 30,000 plus steps per day, I realized I can't do 5 nonstop park days anymore. For my trip in February, I'm planning one free day mid-trip. The problem is I have too many ideas. Fort Wilderness horse riding, Disney Springs shopping, swimming, cruise to Sasagula to grab beignets, dinner at Beaches and Cream, watch the fireworks from the Polynesians. See, this is no longer a rest day. How do you take a break without wasting a day? Thanks for your help. Me planning my escape, listening to you all, and planning my trip will get me through the long, dark, cold days ahead of me. Don't put it like that, man. That was miserable.
Right? It's
Don't tell us. I mean,
depressing.
it's coming, but we don't have to say it out loud. Okay. So Ashley, the good point though. I mean, really, there are so many things to do
Yeah,
outside the theme parks, and she just nailed a bunch of the best. But
I
Van,
agree.
you are really you and Scott are kind of you guys are like A1 pros at non-park days. So without wasting it, but also without being super active too, where you're, still putting 20,000 steps on your feet.
Yeah.
What's an ideal non-park day?
So for me, I think what I would do is I do kind of a breakfast somewhere. I probably a character breakfast because you are really sort of accomplishing something there, right? You're getting your pictures with characters, you're having a good meal, you're doing all that, and it's fun. Then I would head over to Disney Springs for a little bit. I wouldn't try and see to do it all, right? I'd pick a few things that I thought were really important to me. I do those things. Then I'm back at the resort. You know where I'm going with this one. I'm going to the pool
Yes.
for a while. You've got to incorporate that in. So many people don't take that opportunity. And I think they're really missing something because the pools at your Disney World resort are fantastic. They really are. And just so much fun. So I'd hang there for a bit after doing Disney Springs. And then I think I would look at a nice dinner somewhere, either a dinner at a resort. I wouldn't do dinner at my resort. I would go somewhere to do dinner.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I would schedule a dinner at some other resort than yours because that gives you the excuse to get over to another resort. And
Yes.
here's the thing, you could explore not only your resort, but like that neighborhood of resorts. So, for
Mhm.
example, make a reservation for Sebastian's Bistro. So go to the Caribbean Beach. That's kind of an underrated place that people aren't really talking about. It was really, people were talking about when it first opened. I liked it. And, it's kind of
Right.
unique. But then you could go explore the Riviera. You could hop on the
Yes.
Skyliner and, jump over to, walk around Beach Club, Yacht Club, Boardwalk. No
Yes.
problem. Make it an evening on the boardwalk.
Perfect. And if somehow you can at one of those resorts, you can do a movie under the stars, even for part of the time, even if you don't stay for the whole movie, I think that you're really sort of capping off then your night in a fantastic way. There's just really something about the Disney World resorts and seeing and spending time in them, I think, is a really cool part of a vacation.
Yeah, and, she had a list of all those things. Maybe do one of those things. She mentioned Disney Springs. You could replace Disney Springs with, horseback riding at Fort Wilderness, or,
Mhm.
you could combine Disney Springs with that river cruise on the Sassagoula. You
For
could,
sure.
instead of eating at Disney Springs, you could make an ADR for boat rides. And
Yeah.
people don't ever talk about boat rides at Riverside. I've eaten there twice, and it was a good meal both times. Kind of a hidden
Right.
gem. It was decent.
Plus,
You're
then
not
you
gonna
can
find
do
all.
beignets at
Oh yeah.
French Quarter.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, do boat ride to dinner, walk over to French Quarter, and then you could, take a bus back from French Quarter back to a theme park and, catch a bus or sky. I don't know where you're staying, get back, make because that's one of those days where you're not in a rush. So you can make Disney transportation as part of the experience because you're
Yep.
not in a hurry. So you could go, eat dinner at, do some shopping at Disney Springs, boat to Riverside, have dinner at boat rides, walk over to French Quarter, eat some beignets. Oh man, why am I here? This sounds awesome. And then, catch a bus to wherever your resort is, or you can't go to your resort, but take a bus to like a theme park, and
Mhm.
then catch a bus to your, or Skyline or whatever to your hotel, monorail, wherever you got to go, boat. And that's, because you're not in a rush that day. You're not going to a theme park.
Right.
Oh man, I'm ready. Sign me up. All right, have fun, Ashley. All right, next question is from Sarah out in Indianapolis. She says, "Hey, Mike, Pam, Ricky, and Scott, we're headed down to Walt Disney World on December 8th. On Friday, December 9th, we have a Crystal Palace reservation at 5:55 p.m. so that our boys can meet the Winnie the Pooh characters. However, it's a Christmas party night and we don't have tickets for that evening. Since our reservation is before 6 p.m., I think we should be okay and won't be kicked out, but just wanted to check and make sure that I shouldn't be trying to find something earlier. Thanks for everything." Sarah, is Sarah okay? Are they going to get the boot?
You are okay. You are okay. You'll be good to go there, and they'll probably escort you out when you're done. But yes, that's a great way to sort of end your day at the Magic Kingdom. You get to see Winnie the Pooh and friends. It's so great that the characters are back at just about all the locations now. So love hearing that. Love seeing Winnie the Pooh back. But yes, you'll be able to do that. I know a few years ago, remember there was one year where after they had released the party and people had dining, they were like, yeah, if you're 5:45 and later, you have to have tickets to the party. It's like,
Yeah, that was messed up.
we're like, yeah, no.
Yeah, do you have like an intern doing this? Because that's not right. Like somebody dropped the ball.
Order of events, I think we needed to think
Yes.
about.
Yeah,
So.
somebody missed that math class of order of operations. Like, they tried to add and subtract before multiplying and dividing, and they totally forgot about the parentheses.
Yeah, I think that does happen sometimes when dining opens up before park hours are released to the order of operations. Yes, Disney, take a class.
It does. All right. Next question is from Doreen. She is 1,500 miles from Walt Disney World, but doesn't say exactly where. So put a pin in Walt Disney World, get your compass out, and we can find her somewhere in there.
Yeah, somewhere in this circle.
I love it. Don't tell us where you are. Let's see. No, I love knowing where people write in from. Hello, Mike, Pam, Ricky, and Scotty G. Hoping I could get some guidance. We'll be staying at the Beach Club Villas during the week of December 10th. We will have a car. We have a reservation for the holiday sleigh ride at Fort Wilderness at 7 p.m. and tickets for Night of a Million Lights the same night. What I'd like to do is eat at Geyser Point and view the decorations in the lodge before heading for the sleigh ride. After the sleigh ride, we'll head to the Night of a Million Lights. I'd like to drive over to Wilderness Lodge, but unsure if I'm allowed to park there to eat at Geyser Point. If I can't, this is where the transportation gets complicated. Any thoughts would be appreciated. Thank you, Doreen. So I think she is valid thinking about this because she could be turned away
100%.
from Geyser Point, and it's a solution.
Yeah, the issue is typically the rule is if you don't have a dining reservation that is associated, once you get to the resort, it's really at the guard's discretion, based on their current levels of parking and how strict they're being and whatnot, whether or not you will be able to park there. I'm not really able to say, yes, you will be able to park there, or no, you will not. Some guards are like, okay, sure. And some of them are like, absolutely not. So if you want to be really safe, here's what I would do. I would park at the Transportation and Ticket Center and then take the boat from the Magic Kingdom over to the Wilderness Lodge. It's really kind of a cool boat ride. You get to see some really cool things. Love that part. So then you don't even have to worry about, just budget a little extra time in that space. But that's what I would do for sure.
Would you try? Here's the question, because this is what would be going through my head. Would you roll
Right.
dice going over to the Wilderness Lodge first?
I may do that. Right.
I
Drive up.
probably would. I mean, because it's probably going to cost you. It's a gamble. You may get in, you may not. And if you get in, it's going to save you probably 45 minutes.
Right.
It's probably, and if it doesn't, it's probably going to cost you 10 because you're right there. So I would probably swing by, tell them, what the deal. Here's the thing. You do have a confirmation number for the sleigh ride.
Right, but that's at Fort Wilderness.
Huh. Could you park? I'm trying to think. Could you park at is there transportation between Fort Wilderness and Wilderness Lodge?
I believe
that bus to take.
I know the boat used to run in between,
because that'd be time to park there.
Right. I don't know.
And you know what? If Fort Wilderness they have that big lot out front, you could park out there, like where all the RVs park.
Yeah, for sure.
Totally do that. They wouldn't hassle you there.
No, because you're there for the ride, the sleigh ride.
Yeah, so if there is, and I'm trying to think, I think there is transportation between the two. There
used to be. I'm just not sure if that's back or not.
I think there's a bus. I don't know if there's a boat, but I think there's a bus. So yeah, if you could park at Fort Wilderness, take a bus over to Wilderness Lodge, because I think they share a bus. And then you could have Geyser Point, but then you need your car for Geyser Point, so you'd have to then take another bus back to yeah, that'd be a hassle. Yeah, it's not ideal. Yeah, it's totally not ideal because I know they're going over to the Give Kids a World, Night of a Million Lights.
I know. It's funny. There's a few places like that that you can't make a reservation for, but totally legitimate. You're going there for dinner.
Right, I know.
Geyser Point's one of them. Three Bridges is another one. So
I would explain my situation to the guard shack in this case. Like, look, we're doing a sleigh ride. We have a confirmation number. We're at Fort Wilderness. We would like to eat it. I think with a lot of times with a confirmation number for something, they do give you the leeway, so just, and tell them what the deal is. You're going over to get, make sure you say you're going to give kids the world after, and you want to make sure you get there on time. It's very busy. You're really excited. Throw it all out there and just be honest because you are doing all these things. You're not lying. And I think you may get good.
I think Fort Wilderness would be the preferred place to park. It will take some time, but then you're closest to you're going to get off your sleigh ride, right? And you want to go to Give Kids the World right then. So that's what you're closest to at that point.
Yeah,
You're
that's true.
either doing the ride in between the two before or after.
Yeah,
So
and to be better before. And which
so did we confuse? Did we
totally
confuse
confused. Totally
everybody? Yeah.
confused. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on. So let's go to the next question because we totally hosed that thing. Okay, Liliana's got a question. Hey, BOGP crew. I'm a longtime listener from Washington State. I'm 14 and have grown up listening with my family. Now, how
I
old
would
is that?
say.
This podcast will be 15 years old in March. So this person, Liliana, this podcast is as old as you.
Yeah.
Makes me feel I just had a birthday. I mean, not only did I get excited that I got a room, boots, and a chair for my birthday, and I couldn't have been more excited. But yeah, thank you, Liliana. That's awesome. It is awesome, but man, I feel old. In December, we're going to Disneyland for about a week to celebrate my parents' 22nd wedding anniversary. I was wondering if you had any ideas for quiet places to go to in Disneyland or DCA. Recently, I really struggled with loud and sudden noises and crowds. I tend to want to take breaks to regain some of my energy. I do have noise canceling headphones I will be bringing with me that tend to help me. My family and I have been brainstorming places to go for a quick break. So far, we've come up with the Hungry Bear. That's going to be my pick. Oh,
Right?
really honest. I love the Hungry Bear. That was my
Agreed.
favorite, like hidden gem of my trip in July. But you got it. All right. First thing, she says the art gallery / Abe Lincoln on Main Street. Yes, that's another
Mhm.
the great moments with Mr. Lincoln, like the
Yeah.
vestibule out there. Yes. Let's see. She said the animation building. I would love to hear any ideas you have. Last year we went to Disney in November and I used my headphones there, which really helped. We also got to meet Ricky at the Merriest Nights event. That's awesome.
Fun.
That's pretty cool. Thanks for helping me out and hosting such a great podcast. Love, Liliana. Liliana, we appreciate you listening out in Washington. That really makes my day. That's so cool. So, Pam, you've been there many more times than I have. I've only been to Disneyland DCA once. And I want to fix that and be there a million times because I fell in love with the place. But some quiet places.
So there is a little wishing well that's on the side of the castle that has Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I would sort of check that out as a little place to sort of unwind and look. You got to look in the wishing well too, because that's really sweet. But it's right there by the castle, by one of the paths there to the right of the castle. So check that out. I think the Disneyland, I felt like at times it has more little places to sit. So there's sort of a walkway that goes next to Big Thunder Mountain Railway.
I was going to say that one. There's a tree
Yes.
back there, even. There's a
Yes.
huge tree that I felt like I don't know what the story is of this tree, but the tree, it's kind of back by the entrance to Galaxy's Edge, right? Kind
Yep.
of back there. Yeah. I was like, this walkway is wide and it's not very busy. It's got this huge shade tree. I
Yes.
love it. We walked through there many times. I was going to say that. That's a great place.
It is. It is. And it's always sort of seems quiet back there. I wouldn't discount the boat, the ferry boat. That's sort of a long meandering, ride around. You get to see things and stuff like that. But I think that that's a good location. At the very back of Pixar Pier, there is a a dining location there, Paradise Garden Grill. I was looking for the name. Paradise Garden Grill, that is often very quiet. You go sort of all the way to the back of Disney's California Adventure, but you can get food there, and there's lots of sitting places, and I like that area too. I also think that the area sort of Grand Californian's entrance into Disney's California Adventure. Back there, there's a really sort of quiet area to sort of sit to, a lot of evergreens because it's back by that whole area of the park. So love that too. And the other thing to keep in mind is you're so close when you're at Disneyland to the resort hotels, and Disney's Grand Californian is right there. There are so many fantastic places to sit in that lobby, get some quiet, go up in some of the floors that look down on the lobby and find a place to sit. There is a special entrance and exit of California Adventure right there into Disney's Grand Californian. So check that out too. You'll find lots of good locations.
And speaking of the resorts, another place that I love to sit. Now, this would be a little bit of a walk. I mean, it's 5 minutes though. Everything is so like cutely compact. It is a
Yes.
resort. I loved it. So you would have to walk from the Disneyland, DCA or Disneyland through downtown Disney to the Disneyland Hotel. But right outside, there's these awesome chairs,
Yeah.
the little tables right outside the Disneyland Hotel, kind of across from the pool. Those chairs are
Yes.
super comfortable and they're so chill. Like you could totally sit there and just kind of get some downtime and just watch people go by, see people swimming, see people going from like Trader Sam's and Tangaroa Terrace there. And
Yeah, that's
oh,
a great
so
idea.
great. I mean, it's a little bit outside, like you said, it's kind of the Grand Californian idea. But yeah, I mean, you just got to kind of happen upon them, but there are places.
For
Yeah,
sure.
it's busy, but oh man, so much fun. And congratulations 20 years to your parents. Make sure you tell them from
I
us.
know, that's great.
That is. All right. Sarah's got another question about Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. She says, "Hey, Mike and crew, I was wondering your thoughts on when to attend the Christmas party at the Magic Kingdom. Do you go on your rest day or on your Magic Kingdom park day? Our schedule is usually 2 parks, rest, 2 parks. So I'm wondering when you would go with that schedule. Thanks for all you do and roll tide." Roll tide, Sarah. Okay, so, and there's a sliver of a chance. No, just kidding. Okay, so they go 2 parks, rest, 2 parks. If you go to the Christmas party, which at this point they're all sold out for this year, but hypothetically we
Man.
can talk. Um, do you go to the Magic Kingdom 8 o'clock that morning and just roll through? I don't, because
I don't
I don't
either.
have the stamina. I'm like I said, I got
I'm
boots, a chair,
tired.
in a room for my birthday. I'm at that point in my life. I can't do it all day. Yeah, I know my limits. Like I could somehow I eke out a marathon. I don't know how long that's going to be happening anymore now that I got a boots, a chair, and a room for my birthday. That's telling me something. But I can't do it. So I have to do it on like I chill out the day of the party. Like I make sure the party is something I look forward to. I pool day that day, late breakfast, character breakfast, something like that. I make it a real chill day. It's kind of same thing for you, I think.
Yeah, and the other thing I think is I either schedule it on a day where I know I'm gonna have downtime the next day because you're out pretty late. I mean, for Mike and I, this is late.
Yeah,
I
seriously.
don't
10
maybe
o'clock, man. I'm like, I need my little Debbie snack and my glass of milk, and I need to be tucked in.
well, I mean, so I'm either doing it there or I'm doing it right before, like my last night. And it's sort of like the last hurrah, right, of the trip. You know what I mean? And then I'm going home the next day. But that's my thinking for that. I tend to take it a little easier on that day. I may be up and at a park that morning, but I'm having some downtime in the afternoon for sure in order to prepare for the party. I'm getting there right when they let guests with tickets to the party get in and soaking up the last couple hours of regular park admission time. And then I'm doing that. I will tell you too, if I had my chance again, and we'll talk about this on the Friday show, but I would do the dessert party during the Christmas party.
Really? See,
I would. I
I
would.
cannot believe that. Like, that just sounds so counter.
I know,
Intuitive to me.
right?
Like, you're paying all this money again, frugal Mike here. You're paying all this money to go to the Christmas party, and you're
Right?
gonna pay more money to do something during the, like,
I am.
okay, so we gotta talk about that on Friday because
We
I
will, we
gotta
will.
hear the
Yeah,
rationale.
yeah.
Okay. All right, because I do not let me forget that because I
I
can't
won't, I'll bring it
wrap
up
my head around that.
because I was kicking myself that I didn't, like,
Yeah.
literally. I was, yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay. And Annabelle here in the live chat says, so happy to see you guys tonight. Can't wait for Scott to tell us about his trip. Shout out to you guys for telling us your Thanksgiving traditions. I tried the Boma mustard, which was what Scott was talking about. He was
Oh, fun.
For Thanksgiving, and my family loved it. Our holiday will never be the same without it.
Right?
Boma
Yeah.
mustard. I don't think I've had it, I'm sure, but I don't recall. I
It is so good. So good. Yeah.
gotta try it. All right, next question is from Morgan. Hey, Mike and Be Our Guest podcast crew. My name is Morgan. I discovered your podcast a couple of months ago and have loved it ever since. My fiance and I are getting married in August of 2023 and we'll be going on our Disney honeymoon late August into early September. We're so excited to have the ultimate Disney vacation as we're staying for 11 nights. Uh,
Wow, I'm
yes.
jealous.
And
Yeah,
congratulations, by the way, on the
for
upcoming nuptials.
sure.
It's awesome. We chose to stay at the Coronado and the Grandestino Tower for more of a honeymoon feel. I gotta give her on that. Win. That's exactly right.
You're
We have
doing it right.
exactly right. We have never been to the Coronado, nor have we ever stayed on Disney property, as our trips are usually budget focused. With that being said, I've read the biggest downfall of the Coronado is the internal bus system, as it is not always the fastest and most efficient way to get to the parks, yet it is the only way to get to the parks from this resort. I have a little bit of anxiety thinking about how to get to the parks, to getting to the parks for rope drop. Any advice? We're also open to getting Ubers when absolutely necessary, but would prefer to use the transportation that's included. Thanks for everything, Morgan. Morgan, relax. As Aaron Rodgers once said, RELAX. Because I stay at Coronado a lot. I love Coronado, and the Grandestino Tower is awesome. I mean, honeymoon nailed it. You've nailed it. You perfect. And the bus, I don't know why people get this freaked out thing about like Caribbean Beach, Riverside, Coronado that had the 4 bus stops. It's not that big a deal. Like, it does a lap around the resort, but it's not a big deal. You're still going to get to the parks. I mean, it's going to cost you 5 minutes. I mean,
Yep.
Pam, talk her through this because I stay there all the time and I'd never give it a second thought. It's
You
not a
know
problem.
what? It's really been something that has been posted about online so much that I think it has been made to be a bigger deal than it actually is. Like Mike, I stay at Coronado often. And we have not found this to be an issue for us, even at park opening. So I believe the order right now is that it stops at Grandestino first
I think
before
so. I think
before
so.
going around. That didn't used to be the case. And there was a while there where Grandestino was actually the last pickup. So in the morning, there could be a time when the bus was too full and would head to the park. But they're sending a lot of buses during really busy times. That's something to remember as well, that they are doing that. So when you get there, you can talk to them about which bus stop is the first to pick up if you're worried about that. And you can just walk there if you would prefer. I will tell you, we don't do that though. We go to the Grandestino stop, we stay there, and we've always had a good experience. It literally adds, let's say, 7 minutes to your time for them to go around the rest of the resort. And the thing that's not talked about very often is Grandestino is really in the middle of the action. I know it's
Yes.
considered an Animal Kingdom park, but
No,
it's not
you mean
that far.
Coronado, the resort itself is in the middle of the action. I mean, it is, yeah,
Yes, yes.
that was going to be my point too. Like, when you look at where it is, and this is what it, because it's exactly what you just said. It's considered an Animal Kingdom Lodge resort, which made me think it was remote. It's
Right?
furthest thing from the truth. It's sitting there right at the corner of World Drive and Buena Vista, I guess it is. or
You
Epcot Resort.
literally look out at Hollywood Studios.
You're as close. This hotel is probably the most centrally located to all 4 parks of any resort on property. It's like on the average, because you're right down the road from Magic Kingdom and World. You're right next to the studios, and because of that, you're right across the World Drive from Epcot.
Yes.
You're an Animal Kingdom resort. You're really
I
close
know.
to
We're
Epcot.
trying to bring a level of sanity to
Totally.
the internet Walt Disney World fan group. I understand people are very passionate about their vacation, but I'm telling you, I have not had an experience with the buses impacting my trip to Grand Destino in any way. And I don't want to see you have anxiety about this. So I promise you'll be fine.
All right, let's get to one last question. And it says, Dear Mike and BOGP crew, the title, so grateful to have found BOG. Thank you for such a wonderful show. We just started tuning in to prep for our big trip and have truly enjoyed every episode. Thank you so much. We are surprising our soon to be teenager with his family trip to Walt Disney World for his 13th in January. We're also celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary and my 50th. Had to go before March ends for the 50th, right? It's our son's first trip and the second trip for my husband and I. We went for the 5th anniversary. So it's been 20 for our 5th anniversary. So it's been 20 years. We are huge Disneyland goers. We live on the California Central Coast and have a Disney tribe here in California and go about once a year to the land and very often to downtown Disney here. We're so excited to return to the world. May I please ask your advice about our hotel stay? All 3 of us are foodies, and we are splurging on that, going to every park while not spending as much time at the Magic Kingdom since we love our Disneyland and saving money on our hotel. We're staying at All Star Movies also because this is where my husband and I stayed first. We were in Toy Story last time, and we thought it would be fun to do that again, but it's now a deluxe, or it's actually called preferred room. We don't like the Mighty Ducks. Sorry, Sporto Mike. How do you not like the Mighty Ducks? When they debuted, they had the coolest logo ever with that hockey mask. It looked like a
Oh,
bull.
for
That was the
sure.
coolest,
Yeah.
right? I used to have their hockey jersey and I lost it at some point. God, that was the coolest jersey ever. I need to just buy a new one, but it was cool. Anyway, she says, and we aren't crazy about Herbie and think we should spring to save on walking too by asking for either Toy Story for nostalgia or Dalmatians. We love them, or Fantasia. We also love, even though that pool is down, since we need 0 pool time. We swim all the time at home, she says. So the question is, should we splurge on the preferred room for the theming and also to save on some extra steps to the bus? I think we are talking spending a couple hundred more for the 8-night trip, and just wondering if you'd recommend that, or maybe we will be so tired at the end of the day we won't even care. Thanks so much for your guidance, entire BOGP crew. Peace and Disney love to you all. Heidi from California. Well, Heidi, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for finding us. Congratulations on the upcoming anniversary, on your son's first trip, 13th birthday, teenagers. We know angst, all that coming. So hang in there. We got it. I got a 14-year-old and a girl, so look out. Anyway, so let me ask your philosophy on this. When you stay at a value, because the values have this preferred category where you are more centrally located within the resort. Pop Century has it. The All Stars have it. Art of Animation has it with Finding Nemo.
Mhm.
Do you do? Because I don't. Because I look at it like I'm walking 38,000 steps a day. I'm saving a couple $100 and walking 39. That's just me though, because I'm cheap. I don't know. What would you do?
So I will say, the theming in all the rooms is exactly the same. And that was mentioned, in part of her email that she was talking about the theming. I get that what you're going to look out outside of your room is
Yeah.
different,
Yeah.
but there is a walkway between your window
It's true.
and the railing. So it's not like you have your own private balcony that you're looking out of. So that's something I just wanted to bring up. But the theming in the room is going to be exactly the same no matter what building you are staying at. So if that's what you're looking for primarily, if that's a reason why you're looking to stay at one of these other sections of the hotels, then I would not do this at all. I think the main reason that people choose to upgrade to a preferred room, and it's not a huge cost in terms of upgrading, but it is a cost for sure, right? is that you want to be closer to the main building to get food and drink from the main building, and also the location of the buses too. So that's really what preferred is. It's just a location issue. And I think it's such a personal choice. We have some people who are like, I want to stay at this hotel. And we're like, I'm sorry, All Stars is not available in the preferred room. Do you want to stay in the standard room? Or would you rather go to Pop Century and preferred? And they're like, oh no, I am staying at a preferred room. I have been at the furthest building. It was not what I wanted and whatnot. So because you're interested in being close to the main building, that's the one room request that I would put in. I would put in a request to be closer to the main building, and you'll, based on availability, they may put you in a room that is a non-preferred room, but closer to the main building. And that's what I would do if I were you.
For example, at Pop Century, what they can do, if you don't book preferred, you have a standard room, but you put a request on there. Sometimes they'll throw you in one of the 50s or 70s buildings, which part of those are preferred, but part of them are not.
Right. Based on their location in the across building.
So you may be getting a room that is 5 rooms down from somebody that's paying an extra $20 a night.
Yeah.
But I mean, you also may end up in the 90s, which I think it's in a different zip code. So I'm just saying, no, it's not that bad, but I mean, it's far. So
Rhonda Lee points out too, and this is a good point, depending on where your room is located, especially if you're at the All Stars, where you are may be closer to another resort food court and bus stop. I mean, just you need to envision, look at the resorts. They're all connected.
Yep.
So that's a great point.
That is true. I mean, you could be like, I'm just gonna go over to music and get something to eat.
Right? Yeah.
And I've done that. I've done that. That's a good call. Well, hey, this has been a lot of fun. We're going to be back on Friday. I'm super excited for Friday's show because Ricky's going to join us. Pam's going to be here. Len had a question. Len is getting ready to go down to Walt Disney World. Len, I've been talking to you. We've been working on this trip for quite a while over at the Magic for Less. He's super excited to go down for the holidays. He had a question about snacks. I wasn't avoiding it, but we're going to do a recap of all the holiday stuff that they got to experience. And that's going to be A1, one of my questions, as well as Pam and the dessert party during the Christmas party. I can't.
Yes, I know.
Like a
controversial
on top of a blizzard or something. It's a peanut butter parfait inside of a blizzard or something.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about all that stuff on Friday. So stay tuned for that. But don't forget our shows. Always brought to you by our amazing sponsor, which you can see over my shoulder here in the studio. Let me just tell you a little bit about this box. This box it has made it. Like, this box was made. Pam, you made this box. It's in the studio. The Magic for Less travel logo and the podcast box. This was made for the Treehouse live show that we did in the Treehouse Villas at Walt Disney World.
Yes.
I want to say we did that in 2009 or 2010.
Gosh, I can't.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
These things survived a trip down to Walt Disney World and back in the trailer. It survived the playroom at the old house where I used to broadcast from, the move to the new house. It's amazing they're still here. But I'm saying that because you're going to see this logo over my shoulder, the Magic for Less Travel. They bring you all these shows, and we want to help you plan an amazing Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Cruise Line, Adventures by Disney trip. We're standing by right now. You know what? We're like Santa's little helper this time of year, even though not all of us have pointy ears, but some of us might. We're just not going to point it out because it's self-esteem. But we'll help you plan a great trip, and you can put that under the tree. Just think about it. Wrap a guidebook, wrap a Mickey plush, and be like, yes, the kids open it up on Christmas morning, and they get a Mickey plush. You're like, oh, I got a stuffed animal. Wow, that's cool. No, you don't just get a stuffed animal. We're going to Walt Disney World in April for spring break, kids. We're staying at Pop Century. We're staying at All-Star Movies. And everybody goes crazy. You have the viral video. You're a TikTok star. Picture it right now. That's what we can help you do. We're going on the Disney Wish. We're going to sail in the Fantasy to, the Eastern Caribbean. Whatever you want to do. And think about how easy that is. You don't have to throw elbows at Walmart. You don't have to take anything back. It's awesome. I mean, I'm selling you right now, aren't I? I mean, because I hate shopping. I'm just telling you. It's easy. But yeah, we'll help you. Just swing by the magicforless.com, fill out that quote form. We'll take it from there. We'll work together. We'll have a good time. And the fun thing is, it's a lot of fun to do this. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. As you do that shopping this holiday season, we'd really appreciate it if you click through our Amazon affiliate link. It really does help us out. It's one extra click, takes you right back to the site. you can get all the crazy deals that I'm sure will be happening from here till Christmas. Just click through beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And a sincere thank you to the patrons of the show. You make all this craziness happen each and every week. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. And you also get that bonus show called Mike in the Midwest every week. If we're not enough, 4 shows in your feed, you get 5. So there you go. I mean, it's a good thing or bad thing, however you see it. So patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give Pam a follow on social media. She's at TMFLT Pam, and she'll be out on the West Coast doing all the Disneyland stuff. So follow her out there. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike, and I would love to talk to you this week on the social media. Of course, I will be out at Mizzou on Friday for the football championship game for our high school, and Mallory gets to cheer at the Mizzou football stadium. So I'm excited for that.
Very exciting.
We'll be posting on that. We'll talk about that on Friday. So I can't wait for that. I'll be posting on Instagram with that as well. So join us also Sunday night. We'll have the live call-in show. Scotty G will be back. He will not be on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad like last week. He'll be in his studio. We'll be talking live, taking your calls Sunday night, Facebook and YouTube at 7:00 Eastern. Join us for that and give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. All right, we're going to get out of here and get Ricky and find her for Friday's show. And we're going to have a dual trip report to get you ready for any holiday trips you have coming up down to Walt Disney World and just get you in the spirit for the season, because Thanksgiving's behind us. So it is Christmas and Christmas cookies and Bing Crosby and tinsel and all that good stuff from now on. So let's do it. So until we get back together again on Friday, for Pam, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Wednesday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Save that one.
Boom.
Da-da-da-da. Yeah, Len, I saved that one for the Friday show because it'll fit in a little better on that one. And Alfred, if you're looking for the cheapest resort, you're looking at probably sports most times of the year, and just go with a base ticket, and that would be your cheapest ticket. Episode 2-1. It's dark in here now.
It feels to be like midnight at 6:00.
I know, for real. If I didn't take a nap during the afternoon, like for like a half hour, I'd be dead.
Now that is old people talk.
I do take a nap for like a half hour right after lunch. Like at 12. Like 12 to 12:30. Because I get up at 5.
I do too.
I need
5 o'clock.
All right. Where's your text, Ricky? Is she home? Let's see. Ooh, Texas Roadhouse texted me. Cyber Monday. Get a $5 gift card. Oh, Ricky says she's coming. Yay. Oh, no, that was you. Ready, Ricky. Let's see where everybody is. Scott is at the gate. Airside 4. Oh, Ricky's here. I'm grab soda real quick.
Okay, cool.
Oh no! I just dropped my headphones.
What's up? There you are.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I am good.
Good.
I'm home for a couple days before I'm gone again.
And then you're gone again. Yeah, exactly.
We're not spending a lot of time in the new house. We check back.
You're like, oh, hey, look, this is my house.
Oh, here. Oh, hey. Yeah, hey.
What's up, house? Glad to see
Right?
you for a few days. All right, now we're going
That's
again.
what it is.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh my gosh. Well, it happens. I get it.
It's just that it's like this time of year, I think, is really busy, and then
It is. So
on top of everything else.
what is Mike doing? Why?
Because we're going to state, baby.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, that lights up.
My horns light up, baby. It's touchdown, Mike.
That's special.
We won this at our trivia night. We won the Francis House Spirit.
Is that winning? I don't know if that's winning. I'm gonna be honest.
$600 worth of Howl gear on a raffle basket. This is one of the items.
That was you. Okay. That's special,
HOWELL.
special, dear. I'm just gonna
Ricky, have
say
you ever been to Cowellville, like the food truck place?
the truck place.
The food truck area.
I
You seen the
no,
new area? That's where we watched the football game from the other day.
no, definitely not. I don't
Awesome.
think that existed when I was in St. Louis.
Yeah, they put in a new area, like in that old Cowellville area, and food truck.
Gotcha.
Is like this time of year, my Amazon account is pretty much like on fire.
Oh my god.
I know.
Yeah, I get that.
This is my
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, there you go.
Yes,
Yeah, I can display stuff now. What?
that's nice. Looks good. I like it.
Thank you. I even have it on air light, but when I turn it on, it like blows out. So I gotta keep it off.
Oh. Well, that's
Yeah.
that's right.
But-
Is that in Paige's old bedroom?
Yep.
Got it.
Paige is not coming back
You're like, peace out, Paige.
because it is painted Mizzou gold.
Oh my goodness.
I got a mini fridge full of
Oh my
Coke Zeros.
No.
Yeah, right here,
No.
full of Coke Zeros. Ceramic Christmas tree. I bought a
Yes.
Hobby Bobby.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna hang all my medals back there and back here.
Oh my. That's
Yeah. This is I got a 50-inch TV right dead
of
ahead.
course you do. Yeah,
Got a sound bar, dude. It booms in here.
of
Got my
course.
Apple TV. Riley's bed is right next to me.
So Mike's never leaving this room. Is
I don't have
basically
that
all he
room.
needs is a bed and
Bathroom is right on the other side.
yeah,
of the
he's
wall.
never leaving this room.
I
I'm
mean, the whole
just
basement's finished. I don't really have to go upstairs except to get food. Guess I
that's
could
true.
breathe to the back door.
Yeah, that's true.
It
That's
is
true.
kind of fun.
Oh my gosh.
Well, okay, I got to ask real quick. It's backdoor outdoors. What does skull mean? Everybody tells me that for the Vikings. I have no idea what that means. So explain that to me. I do not know what that means. I know everybody. It's a Viking thing. Everybody says it. Does it stand for something?
I have no idea.
We don't say that at all.
I don't know what that. I
It's a
don't.
Viking saying. I know because like Minnesota Vikings, like whenever they score a touchdown, they always say skull, which I don't know. I haven't looked it up. I've been meaning to, but
I don't know what that means.
Alfred, just to answer your question, yes, the Christmas card and ornament exchange is happening this year. The information is in a pinned post or whatever on the Facebook page, also on our Instagram page, so you can find out the details there.
I do need a disco ball in here.
Oh, that reminds me, I need to actually message Michelle and tell her that I need to take part in the group in the ornament exchange.
I know. I actually happened to see it, and there's been years from when Michelle's like, you've done this every year.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta actually message her.
Do you want to do it again this year? And I was like, yep.
Yes. And as for Give Kids the World, yes, I'm collecting items for Give Kids the World. I just don't know when it's going to be because
we got to schedule something for.
I have
a 12-hour show at some point.
I have something going on that's a little important that probably it's going to take precedence at least for a while. So early next year. So we'll just have to figure out for when it's going to be. But yes, we do need to schedule something.
The Viking chant for cheers. Okay, so I'm going to start that on Friday at the zoo. I'm going to skull. Everybody like, he's drunk.
Yeah, exactly. But you are correct. Yeah, we do need to schedule something, so we got to figure something out.
It's a war cry. Well, crying's going to be Fort Osage. The Indians will be crying. Okay. It's a battle of Kansas City against St. Louis, meeting in the middle in Columbia.
Gotcha.
Your fan's on again, Ricky. It's
no, it's not my fan. It is my laptop. I can't change it until hopefully
Santa
tomorrow.
Send you a laptop.
Santa already bought me a laptop.
What? It's coming tomorrow?
And by Santa, I mean me. I bought a new laptop. It's coming tomorrow.
What'd you get?
I got another HP.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is it? So you got a new one?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's coming tomorrow. I can't say it'll be quieter, but it's coming tomorrow. So
you just don't want your fan to run because I hear the fan.
Yeah, I get that. The fan's gonna run if it's on.
No, it doesn't usually run until it gets hot.
It's not hot.
When you're when I've had the fan running, when the fan's running a lot, it's the end of my laptop. unfortunately.
Oh, well, I think this is the end of my laptop.
Well,
Hang
I
on,
mean,
you guys
you
can hear
only
me?
got to make it through tonight. I mean,
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought I dropped out. Yeah, this is definitely the end of my laptop because this laptop is like starting to pop up things like,
There you go.
"Hey,
Yeah, I don't
we're
care as
not,
long as it makes it another 45 minutes, and then you got a new one coming tomorrow. Who cares?
we're not, we're not supporting this, whatever, blah blah blah." I'm like, oh, okay. I guess my laptop's done. So I bought a new one. It comes tomorrow.
Pumped. You rock, Ricky. Thanks for getting a new one. Okay.
You can thank Brian because it was me asking him. So I mean, it's not my Christmas present, but it was me asking, "Hey, Brian, do we have money in the budget for me to actually buy a new laptop?"
I will thank Brian.
Yes.
Okay, so we're just going to talk about your guys' trips.
Oh, okay, cool. I ate a lot.
God, you and Pam and Scott, man, you're killing me.
I think I did the best job I've ever done at the Epcot Festival of the Holidays, and it's only like 3 days in. So,
all right, let's talk. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2200 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you, and welcome to Championship Friday here in Missouri. Yes, the day has arrived. We've been going to high school football games since August. Our Francis Hall Vikings have been playing football here in St. Peters, Missouri, in Weldon Spring, Missouri, since August. We have not lost a football game yet, and we are putting it all on the line.
You just jinxed yourself.
Nope. We are putting it all on the line. The number one ranked Francis Hall Vikings heading to Mizzou this evening, 7 o'clock. And we're going to take on the Fort Osage Indians in the Class 5A finals. We've made it all the way through, looking for that perfect season. We're going to be out there. We're going to be cheering the Vikings home to victory. Mallory's going to be down there cheering the Vikings on the sideline. She's a cheerleader. We're going to be having the best old time at Mizzou with our Francis Hall Vikings. I could not be more excited. SmackDown Outdoors here live in our chat. He's a Minnesota Vikings fan. He has taught me to say Skol. So I'm going to be saying Skol and HOWELL and everything else that I can say. We're going to be having a great time at Mizzou on Friday night. And we just lost Ricky. Here we go. So let me stop because she's going to pop back in and just delete that. We got a little practice.
Take two. Her computer's on the last leg.
Sorry, I honestly don't know what happened there. I didn't touch it.
Huh. That's weird.
Just dropped me out. So.
All right, let's start over. Here.
Okay, well, you don't have to start over. You could have just.
Well, no, because I had to add you back in, so I just deleted it.
Oh,
here we go.
Okay.
Welcome to episode 2200 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you, and welcome to Championship Friday here in Missouri. That's right, our Francis Hall Vikings are headed out to mid-Missouri, to Mizzou tonight, to take on the Fort Osage Indians in the championships for the Class 5A football game. We are more than excited because we have been following this football team since early August, since the football jamboree, and our team has taken it on the road all around St. Charles, St. Louis, mid-Missouri. We've been playing all over the place, and we have won every single game this year. 13-0, perfect season. We're going to put it all on the line tonight, 7 o'clock at the zoo. Mallory's cheering. We're going to be in our blue and gold. We could not be more proud of this team. We're going to be rocking it tonight at Mizzou. So cheer us on social media. You'll be seeing me updating it. And hopefully by about 9:30 or so, we'll have the big Missouri-shaped trophy that says state champs. We're really proud of this team, win or lose. They have represented our community so well, and they've given us a reason to rally behind our little part of St. Charles County. And that's kind of the best thing I think about. Maybe you don't have high school football. It's not as big a deal where you live, but it is where we live, and it brings our community together every Friday night. I skipped Wine and Dine because I knew we had something special with this team in the playoffs. I wanted to be there for that game, and we're going to get to see this thing all the way through tonight. If you're watching live here in the studio, I have my Viking horns flashing here in the studio. I cannot wait. Excited for the Francis Hall Vikings. We made it to the end. We couldn't play any other football games. We're one of 2 teams left in the state. It's going to be exciting. So watch the social media at Be Our Guest Mike for some fun times tonight. But joining me today, because we're not talking high school football, we're talking Disney. And I'm the only one, it seems like, on the planet that hasn't been to Walt Disney World here in the last couple of weeks. But we're going to have fun talking about it. So joining me today, she's from themouseforless.com, just back from Walt Disney World. We have Ricky. Ricky, happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Can we believe that we are in December? Yeah, that's shocking.
We're playing high school football in December.
That is shocking to me.
Yeah.
But I would be very remiss in not officially wishing my husband a happy birthday. His birthday was on Wednesday, but y'all recorded without me. I know, whatever. So I want to say officially happy birthday to Brian here on the podcast. I know he's probably not listening, but at least I'm getting it out there in the universe. So, so he's it's not a big. I mean, he's getting up there now, but it's not a big one this year, but at least.
all the cool people having birthdays in the last week or so.
Yes, they are. I mean, it's a very popular time to be born. So
actually, Scott's wife Elizabeth had a birthday this past week too.
Yes.
We'll call B Skills. We'll say happy birthday to B Skills. We'll call Brian B
Skills. Oh, that'll go over just great.
I mean, he's from St. Louis. I mean, that works, right?
There you go.
Okay. Also joining us, and she's again down tick. She's doing a 48-hour flyby of Pittsburgh. We have her. She's here again from the Magic for Less Travel co-owner up there, Pam Forrester, getting ready to head out to the West Coast. What's up, Pam?
I am getting ready to head out to the West Coast and visit the place where it all began. And I'll just encourage people, if you haven't had a chance to do that, it's going to be the year to do it too, because there'll be a big celebration out there in Disneyland to celebrate the origination of the company, right? That Walt started. And so, the place that we all really, are thinking about here. Yes. People who are listening to this show are Disney fans and all that. So consider making plans to be out there for that this year too.
Yeah. And I was going to say, speaking of big anniversaries too, it came out this week that Disney Cruise Line is going to be celebrating their 25th anniversary. Yeah. And it's going to be part of the celebration will be part of when we are on the cruise, which is going to be awesome.
It will be.
Podcast cruise, we're getting a little celebration too.
Cannot wait.
Boom.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I sailed the Magic the first year. So I've been sailing with them since year one.
That's cool.
I'm old. I'm old.
Yeah.
There's so many things. Again, we talked, Ricky, I know you were with us on Wednesday. My 3 big birthday gifts were a room, warm boots, and a chair. And I could not have been more excited. So, I'm getting
that is an old man.
Totally.
Just, yeah.
Gift package. Still, 48 hours later, we talked about this on Wednesday. I still can't get over that I'm excited about those things, but I am,
Welcome to the world of old.
Warm feet, a good place to sit your rear, and a place to do your work. I mean, where nobody bugs you. A door. Yeah. You can close the door and close everybody out. Stop bugging me.
That's right. Perfect. And Mike in the chat saying that him and his wife went on the Big Red Boat back in the early days. So did this girl. I went on the Big Red Boat too. So yeah,
that doesn't count.
I know it doesn't count, but I still did it. I mean, there's photographic proof of me on the Big Red Boat. I'm just saying. So.
I think that's where they filmed Captain Phillips. I think I'm not sure, but I think it was something like that. Anyway, so we're going to talk about your guys' trips because you were down there. A lot of folks are heading. I know Len, my good buddy out in Maryland, big state, Michigan State fan. Sorry, you guys aren't going bowling this year. But to ease his pain, he's going to Walt Disney World for the holidays. So good consolation prize. So we got to know for folks that are traveling down this holiday season to Walt Disney World, like what not to miss to eat, what not to miss to do, what to, see, get your pictures by, all that stuff. So Ricky, before we got recording, the one thing you said, and you're lucky because this season you're eating for 2. I've never officially been eating for 2, but I always act as I am.
Right, exactly.
So, You know, I do, even though I shouldn't. But okay, so you went down. So give us like when were you there? Because it's Friday now. So when were you there? You're there last weekend?
Yeah. So we had an impromptu trip that we ended up taking. We were supposed to celebrate Thanksgiving here in Atlanta, but change of plans happened, and so instead of celebrating here in Atlanta, we ended up deciding to head down and celebrate Thanksgiving with my family down in Orlando. So when you go down, when you have a 4-day weekend, right? You have to, and you're in like the Orlando area, you got to figure out a way to like sneak in a Walt Disney World trip, right? Like that's how this whole thing happens. So when we figured out that we were coming down, we were like, okay, got our dates, got a couple days when we can sneak into the parks. So that's how we're going to do this. So it so happened to coincide with the kickoff day of the Epcot Festival of the Holidays. So of course, me and Brian, we were like, we'll take one for the team and we will go and do all the research possible for this year's Epcot Festival of the Holidays. And trust me when I tell you, we did a lot of very solid research for you guys. Lots of eating, lots of walking around and taking in the entertainment and everything like that. So yeah, it was a great, we actually did 1.5 days basically at Epcot, and then we did half a day at Hollywood Studios. It is a little hard since I'm pregnant. There's not that many attractions at Hollywood Studios that I can actually do. So that's kind of why we split it that way. So because Hollywood Studios is my favorite park overall for the holidays. I mean, that park just knocks it out of the water for like the decorations and all the festivities that they have, in my opinion. So I definitely wanted to see that park for the holiday season and get some really good 1940s 1950s Christmas vibes going. So I had to go over there and experience that. But then so we did morning and like afternoon in Hollywood Studios on Saturday. We did half the day at Epcot on Friday, and then we did half the middle afternoon of Epcot on Saturday. So I was kind of like, it was like split up between everything, but we got a good combination of everything. So yeah,
I'm just saying, I'm no expert at being pregnant. Just
right,
not. But
just not. Yes,
I would say, not being an expert, but having experienced it secondhand as a dad, that this will be a great time of the year to visit Walt Disney World as a person who is expecting, and I know the weather was warm. The weather was like unseasonably warm while you guys were.
It was great. I'm just telling you, it was perfect.
But I mean, it wasn't like cool. Some people want it to be cool down there because like it's the Christmas season. Yeah, but I mean, Scott was like, "Oh, it's hot," but but it's not oppressively hot like in July or August with the humidity killing you. And there's just so much to see and eat. Like you can. This is a good time of the year to be down there and not have to ride rides.
Well, this is true. And also, like with this festival, and everything, I did find myself in the mood to eat more, not just because I was pregnant, but because of the fact that it isn't blazing hot while you're walking around World Showcase. So like the ability to want to try more food booths with this festival, I found it to be greater for me this time because it was warm, but it was nice, and it was nice out. So like I felt comfortable walking around the parks, but actually I got wheeled around the parks, but that's beside the point. So and then we were able to try, usually when, it's all kinds of hot out, I'm like, I do not want to drink, eat soup or eat this hot dish or whatever. And since this festival takes place in the kind of, winter-ish time period, it's a lot cooler, relatively speaking, I guess you should say. And so, yeah, it was much more enjoyable. And I tried so many more things. Thanks. Actually, Brian and I had that conversation while we were sitting down at the Melikalikimaka booth. We were talking about the fact that I was like, we've eaten a lot more today because it's not just hot out.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to eat chowder in July.
It's very hard to eat chowder.
I've tried and it can be done. Promise. I'm good, but
yes.
It's a little harder to take it down when it's 95. Yeah. All right, let me ask Pam. So Pam, I know you were down for quite a while. I mean, you did some time over at Universal. I saw you guys were at Portofino. Not that I was jealous of the room you guys stayed in.
Oh my gosh, right?
I stopped sending pictures like that when I'm working and you're at that room. I was like, my life. But my life's really good. But I mean, so give us like when you were down and kind of the overview of your stay, because you were more resort oriented.
So, and we did do, I went down specifically because I wanted to see the decorations and I wanted to do the Christmas party. That was on my list because I didn't get a chance to do it last year. So I really wanted to make sure I did it this year. And I just wanted to see everything. I think being there at this time of the year really puts you in the holiday mood. It just does. It sort of kicks it off, and it's so nice to see everything decorated. And I wanted to spend time at both Walt Disney World and Universal because they both have such great holiday activities. So we were there sort of the first couple weeks of that all happening, and it was great. I mean, really and truly, I love the different holiday shows at Universal. The Grinch and all that, they really do such a great job. But for me, I think I love the way that they really sort of introduce the holidays into the Wizarding World. They do such a good job with that, and they have a special projection show on the castle and that. And I just like being there. It's a good time of year to travel.
So let's talk about, you were down there. So give us an overview of your resort stays real quick, because we're going to have a lot to get in here in 40 minutes with both.
I know, right?
Resorts, because people love hearing about the resorts. So you stayed at Portofino.
I stayed at Sapphire. I was at Sapphire Falls.
I thought that was at Portofino. Okay.
Yeah. It was at Sapphire Falls.
It was at Portofino because it's so fancy looking.
I know, right? We actually stayed in one of the hospitality suite rooms. Wow. And this is a room that will have sort of a living space, and in addition, it will have a separate bedroom. And these are sort of designed for people who may be having like a meeting there or something like that, but they're great options for families as well, because you do have the two separate spaces. In addition, you have a full-size refrigerator, you have a microwave, you have a sort of an eating area and a table, and then you'll also have a living space as well. So I think most of the hotels actually have them. I know that Hard Rock has them, Royal Pacific has them, Portofino will have them, and Sapphire Falls has them too. So it's an option of moving into almost like a suite, but sometimes isn't quite as expensive as a suite.
So now, did you stay there when you went over to the Christmas party? So you stayed based at Universal?
I didn't. I was at Walt Disney World for the portion of that trip, and I was at my beloved yacht club, which I do really, really, that's like home for me. I love being in that space. But I will say, before we checked into the yacht club, the Disney resorts were actually sort of sold out the first night, and we ended up changing our plane, our air, so that we were arriving sort of the evening of a night before. So we stayed at the Marriott Orlando World Center, and it had been a while since I had been over there. I forgot what a huge complex this was.
I've never stayed there, but that thing looks gigantic.
It is. It has a water park. It has activities. There is a resort fee that encompasses all these things, but it's a really cool location. Lots of dining locations, lots of pools, lots of water park things to do. So it's an option if you wanted to stay on site and there's no availability. We can also build that into a package that includes tickets if you want, because it is a neighboring hotel there.
It's right around the corner.
Yeah, it really is. It's very close. But when I was at World, I was at Yacht Club. And we happened to be there actually. One night we walked in, it was after the Christmas party. It was like 12:30, 1 o'clock at night. No Christmas decorations. Woke up the next morning, decked out.
Crazy how that happens, isn't it?
Yeah. I love it. So that was really cool to see.
Santa's little helpers.
Yep.
Taking care of business. Oh man, being there this time of year just to see things is so amazing. So my big tip, if you're down there during this time of year, you got to have Memory Maker in your package, because greatest pictures, right? Just you have race weekends and the holidays. You got to have Memory Maker.
Yeah,
it's a no-brainer, because you're going to get because you always get an opportunity to get great pictures of Walt Disney World. I mean, just think about the aesthetics of Walt Disney World, Main Street USA, Fantasyland, the resort, all kinds of stuff. But during these times and the races, you're going to have the opportunity times 5, So just throwing that in there. Okay, Ricky, let's talk snacks. Len's been waiting. He's like, Mike,
I want to know what snacks are here. Yes.
He's been waiting for 48 hours. He just wants to know what to eat. You said you were eating like crazy. Give us like a top 3 over at Epcot Festival of Holidays, because it's all about eating. And what are your favorites?
It is all about eating. So for sure. So there's 2 things that you can do. Obviously, there's the regular food booths and everything like that, and then they also have the holiday cookie stroll. So that is where you buy 5 different cookies, and then they give you a 6th cookie. If you buy 5 different cookies, they give you a 6th cookie as a completer cookie at the end of it.
You should always get a completer cookie.
You should always get a completer cookie.
In the real world, like, okay, you've eaten 5 cookies. Here's your completer. Like,
exactly. Good job. You did a good job eating. Yeah. Here's another cookie to eat. Yes. So originally, Brian and I weren't going to take part in the cookie stroll, and then we got suckered in at the first food booth. They're like, do you want to take part in the cookie stroll?
Yes.
And so we looked at the back of the festival guide, and we're like, okay, we could try this cookie and this one, and so we're like, yeah, sure, just let's go. And then we ended up that was the end of that. We were like, okay, so we're in, let's do this. And Brian even suggested, because we'll be back for Christmas day and stuff like that, he even said, well, we don't have to eat all of them today. And I said,
no, yes, you did.
Challenge accepted. I'm here. Let's go.
Brian, what's wrong with you?
So there are 2 different ways that you can do this. I'll start with the cookie stroll first. So there were a number of cookies that were really, really good. There was also one cookie that was not so good. I very much suggest not getting, unfortunately, the black and white cookie at the lime booth. Both Brian and I looked at each other when we were eating it, and we were like, what are your thoughts?
Everybody's got their different tastes, Ricky. Everybody's got
what we realized was it's a plant-based cookie.
Oh, see, I'm out.
Yeah. So I think that's why we realized it. We're like, oh, I think that's why we didn't like it.
Again, with cookies, I don't really want a meat-based cookie either. So that's
no. But I feel like you need some eggs in there or something to kind of help it out a little bit. I don't know. Maybe some milk. So yeah, I as much as I really wanted to really like that cookie, that's the one. Like, if you're gonna skip a cookie on the cookie stroll, because you have 8 choices, so you can go to 8 different places. You can choose, you only have to choose 5, but you can choose between 8 different selections, and that's the one that I would say maybe pass on that one. My favorite cookie though was the one at the America booth, and that was the crinkle cookie. Oh my gosh, it's a chocolate cookie. It's so good. So I highly suggest that. They also have cookies at both Sunshine Seasons, and they have a cookie at Starbucks at the Connections Cafe. So if you want the good news is it looked like Sunshine Seasons was closed when we went past it. I guess Sunshine Seasons isn't open late anymore, at least not for dinner. And so as we
that Connections Cafes, it's like that meme, where the guy's walking with the girlfriend, and then the
yes, exactly.
Connections Cafe is like the new hot girl walking by.
Totally.
Is the one that's on his arm. I need to make that meme.
100%. That's exactly how it is. They're like, oh no, we're done with Sunshine Seasons. Suckers. So no, it was it was like an M&M sugar cookie over there, and then at Connections Cafe, the Starbucks, if you want just the cookie, you can get they have one side of the line for you to go in, and then if you want the cookie and Starbucks, which of course is what I wanted, you have the other side of the line. So that's just a sugar cookie with sprinkles on top. So both were really good too. So the cookie stroll was fantastic. As far as the food actual booths that we enjoyed, there was actually a catfish dish that I believe is new. It was actually blackened catfish that was at the America Pavilion as well. That was really, really good. It had a little kick to it.
Did you put ketchup on it?
No.
Catfish and ketchup is solid. I'm just saying.
What is wrong with you?
No, seriously.
I get what you're saying, but No, not
You
for
ever go to
this.
like Po Folks or whatever down on
Yeah, no, I
River
did.
Mall
And
Drive?
you
Yeah,
wouldn't put this had like a sauce on top of it. You wouldn't put ketchup on it. Like
so
it
good.
came with black eyed peas and rice and Hoppin' John and like all that
Yeah,
stuff. Like, no, you don't put ketchup on that.
yeah.
Anyway,
People in Pittsburgh do because of Heinz.
this stop. The salmon latkes though at the Lime booth were actually really good too. So if you like salmon, that is a good choice as well. At the there's a in the Odyssey there is a
Santa.
there's Santa, yes, we'll get to that. But there's also a booth there, and it's called the Holiday Hearth Desserts. That one, they have a spaceship Earth cookie that's like sandwiched in with salted caramel. Oh my gosh, this cookie was fantastic too. So that's like those I think were like my top three things that I tried as part of the actual Festival of the Holidays. So yeah, there was a lot of really good stuff though this year at the Festival of the Holidays, not gonna lie. Like
So you were there right as it started. Was it crazy busy, like kind of the beginning of Food and Wine Festival? Or
you know what? That was the thing that surprised me the most. Not gonna lie, it was not busy at all. And even though like the opening night of it, it was really because I thought there would be just a ton of people there, because it's opening night and whatever. There really were not that many people in line. And we were actually talking to one of the cast members about, oh, hey, we thought it would be a lot busier. And they said, it's because the bloggers haven't been to the park yet to write about all the food. So, I mean, I'm here to tell you Festival of Holidays is good this year. And I'll definitely have like some comments and stuff like that on the Mouse for Less. Definitely the Instagram and stuff like that, so that you guys can kind of see what food booths and stuff like that were good choices and which ones were maybe passing choices. So I'm going to stretch that out as yeah, exactly.
These shows make me so hungry.
Sorry, Mike. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you about entertainment in a second, but I want to because I got to ask Pam about this because we talked about this on Wednesday because we're going to kind of bounce back and forth. Because Pam brought up she went to the Christmas party.
I'm jealous.
And she talked about how she says her regret of the Christmas party was that she did not do the dessert party during the Christmas party. Mm-hmm. And now, see, I said that's like going to Dairy Queen and ordering a peanut butter parfait, but asking them to put it inside of a blizzard. I mean, it's like it's two amazing things, but is it too much? So I want to hear Pam's thoughts on doing the dessert party during the Christmas party and just reviewing the Christmas party this year, what you thought, because it's back after a couple of year hiatus.
I know, right? So I will tell you why I regret not doing the dessert party. And the main reason is when I'm at the Christmas party, as we've talked about many times, I'm there to do all the things that are exclusive to that, right? I am. And one of the big things about that is the fireworks. And I feel like in order to get sort of a good location or a good spot for the fireworks, you sort of have to be there kind of early, right? To get that spot. And the dessert party, if you do it, it gives you a good spot. That's and true. I almost feel as if you're maximizing your time because you do the desserts either before or after the viewing of the fireworks, right? And then you get your spot. Legitimately, I know that the dessert parties are expensive. I would pay them just to be able to be in the viewing location. Yep. I would. I think it's a good spot. I don't have to fight people for it. In fact, I can have a seat on the ground until the fireworks start. It's awesome. It's just, that's what I wanted in that spot. I didn't want to have to worry about getting a good spot. I think for me, it would just take away that. Then I can see like the second parade because it won't be as busy and all of that. So I love that. And I loved seeing actually the fireworks again. I think they do a great job, especially at the parties with that. So yeah.
So you're saying, you are there for this very, you only get this once a year, and you're there this one shot, like if you're there for a week, you might get to see the fireworks on a normal vacation in July, maybe 2-3 times during the trip. You're going to the
Right.
Christmas party one time, so you want to make sure that you get an optimal viewing of it. So that would ensure that. Plus,
That was yes, that was my thinking, and that's my thinking behind that. I've already spent the money to come to the Christmas party, right? I'm already in. I'm in for a penny. I might as well be in for a pound,
That's true.
Right.
because I'm like, I'm doing this, and I want to do all the things. And I felt like it would have been a good time for for me to just use that spot, use what I know is a good location and is a good experience. We did end up doing the dessert party on another day. It wasn't the Christmas party dessert party, but it was another day. I ended up stalking the app and finding the cancellation for that one because I wanted to do it. I knew that Steve wasn't going to be like game for the waiting for it. And so I was like, guess what I found? A dessert party. So, anyways, and I do want to remind people too, like, because this could be a justification of the cost, it does include alcohol, the dessert parties at this point. So I know when they added that, it did sort of raise the cost, but there sort of is a justification for that. I understand not everyone drinks, but they do have drinks that are non-alcoholic that are readily available too. So, and the desserts were spectacular. They're
I was
beautiful.
going to ask you, what kind of options did you have at the party?
Oh my gosh, they had like this little snickerdoodle. They had a snickerdoodle on both sides and cream on the inside. They had all these different, they have so many different options there. It's really hard to nail down one. In addition, they also had cheese, like a savory thing, as well as that. They do have alcohol that is included. They had hot chocolate, they had hot tea and coffee and non-alcoholic sparkling cider and just so many things to choose from. So I'm a fan of the dessert parties. I don't even want to say this anymore because they're so challenging to get, but just because I think it does offer a good experience and a really relaxing fireworks experience. I think that was the thing I was missing with the party one. It was a great fireworks show. I'm so glad that we had it, but it's really a relaxing experience when you do the dessert party. So
let me ask you about the Christmas party in general.
Okay.
We had the parade. Everybody loves seeing the wooden soldiers. Scott got a really good video. He was at the party too. He got a good video on Instagram. If you want to check that out at Scott, I don't know, he must have been laying on the ground. It looked like they were going to walk over the top of them. It was awesome. I don't know how he did it, but you got the fireworks, the parade, other stuff going on. So review the party for folks you have to have tickets at this point. They're all sold out.
You do. Yeah, you do. So I want to say the big news is that the cookies this year that they're giving out are actually Cheryl's cookies.
Oh,
Hey, I've gotten those for Christmas.
oh, that's a win.
They're Cheryl's cookies. They're prepackaged cookies, and you get them
around here.
Right. I know. So, and they're offering different drinks at different locations. Hot cocoa at some. They had apple cider at some. They had eggnog at some. So lots of things for us to choose. And if you have some kind of food allergy or preference, you can ask there. Many of them had an option that was available for you. So all you had to do was ask when you went to pick them up. And the lines for the treats were not very long at all, where you sort of get in, walk through, and you move along. So I love that. They did have special lighting available at Space Mountain has lights on it that are so fun. There's other locations that are great too. You always, of course, have to check out the special holiday show that is there in Tomorrowland. They had a fantastic a cappella group that was doing carols, and that was really cool too. But again, I'm there mostly for the parade, and that kind of thing. So I really wanted a good spot for the parade. I actually just wanted to sit and watch it. And of course, we went to Frontierland for the second showing of the parade, and I've got a spot on the seating location that's right there in front of yeah. It's just a great place to sit there and watch the show. Yep. The shooting range is where we were, and
it's one of my favorite spots to go to.
It just is really nice because the parade starts from the location there in Frontierland and comes towards you at the second show. And I love that. I love seeing the parade. They had some different changes to it this year. They had some ladies on sort of skis, rollerblades, stuff like that. Just some different additions, but I really, really enjoyed the parade. I always like seeing it. They mix it up. It's a little different than past parades, but still very much the same. You get to see all your favorite characters. The soldiers are great. The reindeer are great. All, those are favorites. So I understand why the Christmas party sold out. I think it's just a great way to really embrace the season and be there for all the festivities and all that. And that's our number one reason to go. I know that other people really look at it as an opportunity to experience attractions with less of a wait time. And I get that. We did too. We did a few attractions. We didn't have much of a wait at all. In fact, one of the longest waits for attractions was the People Mover at one point.
Of course.
It's just different times. I know, right? It's too funny. So love that. They do such a great job with the decorations at the Magic Kingdom and the music. The music at the Magic Kingdom at the holidays is just fantastic. That loop is great. It has so many nostalgic Christmas songs, right? And they sort of do fit with the locations that you're at, but I love that too. I had to give a mention.
The same is true at Hollywood Studios too. The
Yes.
loops that they have just running through the park again is so fantastic. Such great music, that you hear throughout that park too. So again, that helps to add to the fact that it's my favorite park for the holidays. So just really great music coming from both parks for sure.
Yeah, Tammy's asking about day of availability for the Christmas parties. That does pop up sometimes. You'll see it, but I mean, again,
It's rare.
demand has been insane this year, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't count on it, but you never know. I mean, just check. Say you're at the Magic Kingdom that day and you want to go to the party that night, just go to City Hall and just say, hey, any availability, you may get lucky.
Yeah. Ask at your resort too.
Yeah.
And then also they're at the parks themselves.
So let me ask you this. So over at Epcot, back to Ricky with the Festival of the Holidays going on over there. Of course, one of the coolest things I think Walt Disney World does, I like Candlelight Procession. I love that. And the storytellers in all the nations,
Yes.
telling the Christmas story, or, how Santa delivers the presents in Norway, or whatever their equivalent of Santa is in China, and, how that all goes down. So did you guys get an opportunity to go around? I think this would be a perfect opportunity for you to kind of slow down and kind of take in some story time with the.
Yeah, it was great because, like I said, we were there, two different times. So in the evening, the storytellers do take. There are some storytellers that take place in the evenings. So we got to see the first night. We got to see the one in Norway, but then because we went back the second day, we saw a fair number of them, and so we definitely caught the one. We caught the Hanukkah one, and we caught the one in France as well, for sure. And again,
Père
both
Noël, I believe that
Père
is.
Noël, yes, exactly.
Look at that. Right, yeah.
And I had never really sat and saw. I had seen the Hanukkah one before, but I never sat and saw the Père Noël one. So that one was really, really good to be able to see.
Is that a train?
Yes, that's the train.
No, but for once we have background music or background songs that fit into the show. Thank God. It's usually a dog market or something, but I'm like, we're doing a Christmas show, and there's a train trucking by. I'm like, that's perfect.
There's actually a train that's probably that goes past my house. That's probably a football field away, and that's no joke.
Oh my gosh.
It's literally a football field away from my house, and I just ignore
awesome.
it. I ignore it all the time now. I don't even hear the train anymore. So when you were like, "Is that a train?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, the train."
The Christmas show. That's awesome. They're good for the next 3 weeks. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm like, am I hearing a train?
You heard a train, yes, exactly. So anyway, the biggest change with they also have one of my favorite musical groups as part of the Festival of the Holidays, and that is Joyful. Joyful is back once again. They are there in that kind of Main World Showcase Plaza as you walk right in, and the energy that this band brings, for the holiday season, it's just amped up to 11. I mean, seriously, you cannot leave without a smile on your face, I feel like, after watching them perform. Every time, matter of fact, when Brian and I were walking around, he could hear them in the Mexico Pavilion. Oh, by the way, I got to talk about that too. But he could hear them in the Mexico Pavilion, and he's like, "Oh, Joyful's on," and I was like, oh, dang, because I looked at the times the day before and I was like, oh, dang it, we missed them, because that was their last performance for the night. But luckily we caught the tail end of their performance because they give about a 20-minute performance. So by the time we walked over there, we were able to see the end of it. And they do such a fantastic job. So they are definitely one of my favorite parts of the Festival of the Holidays. Yeah, I mean, the other part that I was going to mention too is that Santa is in a brand new location this year. He used to be in the America Adventure Pavilion, and now he has moved over to the Odyssey, and it's a much better location. I feel like, it's you've got snacks, so you can always grab a snack, and then they have this really great setup for Santa. With lots of lighting and everything like that. So little kids can tell Santa what they want for the holidays, and then they get great pictures with Santa, and the whole family can get in on that. The one thing I will say is that keep in mind that the line to meet Santa is often very long, and if you come up at the end of the line time period, they do cut it off and they cut it off a little bit early. So don't come at the very end and expect to be able to get to see Santa, because even though you'll see him out there, you will not get to, they're going to cut that line off. So but that's because Santa actually takes his time with each child and really wants to know what they want for Christmas, of course, right? So they're not going to rush you through and go, okay, boom, 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 picture's done, go, So, it takes a little more time to meet Santa. So just know if you want to meet him, try to go at the beginning of his time period, not at the end, so that way you don't, get left out. Because we actually were in there and we heard, a couple families, kind of were upset because even though the posted time was still there.
Santa, man.
I know. Even though the posted time was there, like Santa was still meeting. Santa's line had been cut off, and it was like a half hour before Santa was supposed to stop meeting. So,
whatever. I'm not getting mad in front of Santa, man.
I know he sees you.
That's dangerous.
If he sees you when you're sleeping, he's gonna definitely see that. I'm just saying. Yeah.
For real. So one thing, I dress up like Elf, and that might get you into the line, even if it's cut.
That's true.
Just yell, I know him.
I know him.
Right.
Yes. Eventually they'll let you in the line because it's embarrassing. But is there a PhotoPass photographer there with Santa?
There is.
You have a memory maker. You can get some shots.
Absolutely.
There you go. Another reason to have it.
Yes.
Okay, so so you went around. Did either one of you guys do candlelight or listen to it?
I did not.
From a distance. I never have the patience to line up.
Wasn't going on when I was
there. The line went all the way back to France when he was there.
We actually talked about it. Brian and I had thought about doing the dining package. It was available for the night that we were, actually I think both nights that we were there, but it was at Rose and Crown, and we had literally just eaten at Rose and Crown the last trip before, so we were like,
oh, what?
I know, but it was like literally a month ago, so we were like, I don't know if we really want to eat Rose and Crown again. But
you're talking to the guy that has Mexican 5 days a week.
Speaking of Mexican, guess where I finally went?
San Angelo.
I finally ate at San Angelo. Yes, I did.
You had never eaten there?
I had never eaten at San Angelo. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. So we found a reservation, like, within that 2-hour window. You know how Disney's changed the 2-hour window now?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So we found a reservation that was available within the 2-hour window because somebody had canceled at that point. And so we're like, okay, do you want to try? Brian and I have been talking about trying it for years. And so we finally actually ended up eating at San Angelo, and I was so excited to try it. So it was really good.
Okay, so the atmosphere in there is awesome, right?
Yes.
But you also had no idea what you're eating, right? Because it's so dark in there.
It's so dark in there. Yeah, you're not wrong. Thank God for the candle on the table. Although we were at a table for two, and the food was like everywhere. Because Brian and I ended up sharing, so we got chips and dip. Because I've been talking about having chips and dip in the Mexican
Mexican restaurant. You gotta have.
So I was like, I gotta get chips and dip. Their queso is fire, by the way, and actually their the salsa is pretty good too. So we split that, but then we also split some enchiladas. And so like having all that in a small table with a lit candle, I was like, oh, this is gonna go so badly so quickly.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm eating in there. I just know I'm eating Mexican food. Like, it's so dark, but it all tastes good. So I really don't know what I'm ordering, and I just whatever they bring out. They could bring out the wrong plate. I don't care. Like,
I don't know. I got nothing.
But it's good. I'm glad you got in there. Cool.
I know it was good.
Awesome. All right. So Pam, let me ask you this, because we're getting a little short on time here. I'll wrap this up here in the next 10 minutes. So, but like stuff not to miss. So we've talked about the storytellers and, Epcot and the snacks, but you were down there for the holidays. Like, was there anything that you did that was kind of hidden, like at the resorts, or anything folks heading down that need to not miss?
So I think one of the things, that Disney World really did this time was they really upped their game in terms of snacks. And we've been talking about how Disneyland's been doing this for years and Disney World has made more of an effort the past year. But the good thing is, even if you aren't in the parks, you can go to the different resorts and Disney Springs and see some really interesting and creative snacks. So I just wanted to mention a couple of them because there's some good ones. So over at Amorette's, which is the little French bakery there in Disney Springs, they always make these incredible looking snacks. Even if you aren't going to buy one, go in and look at them. They just have really, really creative snacks. But they have one this year that is, as soon as I read this, I knew I was going to like this, right? It is a Santa Claus petite cake. It is a chocolate chip cookie cake, vanilla mousse, chocolate chiffon, and it's there and available. I know, right?
I did not know about this like 2 days ago. I would have totally gone and gotten this cake.
The best thing about it
remember,
is
the camera eats first on these things, but it'll be I would eat this thing so hard.
I know, right? It looks like a little Santa. Has a red suit on and a belt, and on top of it, it has little chocolate chip cookies and a glass of milk. So now, right? So, but they had other beautiful things there, really and truly. Of course, they have the Santa Claus Mickey cake. It's a holiday Mickey Mouse, sort of. He has, he's red and he has the ears and has a little Santa Claus belt, all of that. So make sure you check that out. But all of the restaurants there really have a lot of good stuff. Like the Boathouse has a special old fashioned. Deluxe Burger has special burgers, and also a, Mike, are you ready? Peppermint cookies and cream shake.
Oof,
right? I know.
Oh.
Everglazed Donuts has special holiday offerings too. Now their donuts are also the kind that, like, when you see them, you're just sort of like, oh my gosh, you're overwhelmed with, how good that is. Well, that's what these look like too. The Ganachery has great stuff. By the way, Gideon's, which the cookie is now available. It was not available when I was there, but their Cookie Von Krampus cookie is a triple chocolate cookie infused with peppermint and covered with chocolate mint.
Nice.
I don't think you can get better than that. But the Kris Kringle cookie is a very close second. But actually, these are tied in my book. It is a white chocolate coffee bean cookie with coconut, caramel, and vanilla bean notes, topped with coarse sugar crystals and, by the way, magic glitter. So anyways, just lots of good stuff. But just to say that the Disney Springs area really gets into the whole holiday spirit too. They have lots of really good food offerings and drink offerings. So make sure you're checking those out as well.
So did you guys spend some time over at Disney Springs when you were there?
We did. Yeah, of course.
Is it even more nuts though during this time of year? I mean, I'm sure they have like Christmas music playing. They have beautiful trees there.
They do.
In the area. But
on weekends, I think it gets crazy busy. But we were there during a weekday, and it wasn't bad. I mean, it was just a regular sort of Disney Springs kind of time. Jock Lindsay's Holiday Bar actually had a ton of great stuff too. There were, lots of shopping opportunities, lots of eating opportunities, lots of drinking opportunities. So.
What if you left that Santa cookie out for Santa, like Christmas Eve, and like Santa comes down the chimney. He's got the over on the end table. He's got the glass of milk, the note from the kids, and he's got the Santa cookie. So he's like, do I eat this? Like, because it's like me. Santa like, it'd be weird to eat a cookie like a podcaster.
Right.
Be weird. I don't know. I'd eat it. It was probably really tasty. I'd eat it anyway.
I've eaten cupcakes with our faces on it. So
it's true. Yeah, we have. Somebody sent us cookies with like BOGP cookies.
We had those too. Yeah. But thanks to
back at like 500 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ate those. Problem solved. Santa eats
All
Santa.
done. Yeah,
Santa eats Santa cookies.
don't worry about it.
No problem. Boom.
Okay, good.
Okay, Ricky, final thoughts because we have a few minutes left. Final thoughts on your trip.
Okay, I have a few things to quickly go over, so I'll do it as fast as I possibly can. First of all, at Epcot, you're gonna want to make sure you check out the brand new Spaceship Earth Beacon of Magic show for the holiday season. You can actually, if you want to catch a sneak preview of it, I did upload it to the Mouse for Les's YouTube channel. But it is brand new for this year. Just the kicked off on Friday, so I caught it opening night. It's really great. It's Frozen themed. So that's a part of the Festival of the Holidays this year. They are still doing the 40th anniversary production show too, though. So I was so sad because I missed it back last month when I was there, and I was like, dang it, it'll probably be gone by the next time I'm back. It is still there, so I was really happy to catch it, and it's really good. So if you haven't caught that one yet, definitely want to do that. Living with the Land, you absolutely want to go on this at night, 100%. They do a special holiday version of it. I'm thinking that you can probably see it during the day, but it's not nearly as good as it is at night. Like, you definitely want to go in at night and see this. So good. And they actually have an updated spiel so that it goes over like how these entities tie into the Festival of the Holidays, which is really cool too. And then a couple other things we did at Hollywood Studios. We did catch the Sunset Season Showcase, which is back on the Tower of Terror. It happens about every 15 minutes or so, I want to say. There's 4 different short little production shows that happen on there. And they probably last about 1 to 2 minutes, maybe at the most, for each one.
They're super cool. Like, they stop people like in their tracks on Sunset. Like, I mean, they are so real looking. Like,
they are
projections. It's crazy now.
It's so fantastic. So there's 4 different shows. One themed around the Muppets, one themed around Mickey's Christmas Carol, the cartoon, version of it. One themed around Frozen, and then there's one more that I'm blanking on. Nope, that's the Muppets one. Blanking on the last one. But anyway, there's 4 different ones. It's a surprise. Yeah, exactly. I just saw it too, and I'm like, it's the last one. Just blame pregnancy brain for that one. I don't know. And then the last thing I got to see is because Brian decided that he wanted to walk from Epcot from Hollywood Studios to Epcot. We did go through the boardwalk to see their holiday display. And every year at Beach Club, every year at the Beach Club, they have the gingerbread carousel. And it's just a miraculous thing that they do with candy, chocolate, gingerbread, everything. And this year it's themed after the Disney princesses. So there's horses for Jasmine, Belle, Elsa, and Princess Tiana. And they, again, it's just, you marvel at the fact that this thing is made entirely of food. Like, it's incredible.
You just want to take a bite out of the thing.
I know, right? So anyway, we definitely fit in a lot in the course of like basically 2 days. So, we tried to make sure we got the most out of all of our, time in the parks. So it was great.
Sounds good. All right, Pam, any final thoughts? And then we'll wrap for the...
I know that people always associate the craziness at the holidays, and it is crazy, but at the end of November, the beginning of December, it's really not that bad. And even if you're there on actual holidays, there's just something about being there in that location. We've talked about it all the time, that you get to be there in this incredible place with people that you care about. It's a fantastic place to be. And if you just go into it with the right attitude, you're going to have a fantastic time. So don't let the idea of the holiday craziness prevent you from going and experiencing this, because it's definitely worth experiencing it. Disney does the holidays better than anybody else. They just really do. And it just puts you in that right frame of mind. You get to focus on what's really important about the holidays. That's being with the people that you care about, eating some good food and making some memories. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and I'm not getting down there during the holidays this year. I'll be down there for Marathon. That's kind of the thing about Marathon is like, well, you get to go, right after. So it makes it hard to go, justify going right before and then again. But I've been there many times during the holidays. And my biggest advice to folks going like Len and folks are going during the holiday season is, if you're anybody that's a holiday fan, like I love the holidays. Like I got my ceramic trees here at home. I listen to Holiday Traditions on XM. Like I'm a huge holiday nut. this is close in the real world that you can get to walking through, an old holiday movie, walking down Main Street, listening to that background loop, going over to the studios and seeing those spaghetti poodles, out there,
I
as
saw them. I
decorations,
love
and,
them.
those old Santas from the 50s and 60s on the light poles. I mean, this is stuff you see in movies, but you get to actually tangibly walk through it. And it lifts your spirit like nothing else. So I'm super jealous and super excited for folks going down. You're going to have the best time ever. Hopefully we gave you some ideas of what to, what not to miss and what to get excited for and what to head for first and all that kind of stuff. But of course you'll have your own discoveries as you're there. So, as you're on social media, let us know what you thought, post some pictures and give us, tag us and let us know when you get back. Well, that's a good thing about our show is we bring people on. We have the call-in shows, and you can tell us, add to the conversation and help us all have better trips. So hope you enjoyed today's show. Thanks to Pam and Ricky. Thanks, ladies, for helping everybody have great trips this holiday season.
Happy to.
Yes.
All right. Well, hey, don't forget our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. You know where to find us. We're here every time. Over at themagicforless.com. We'll help you plan a great Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney trip. All you need to do is swing by themagicforless.com today. Fill out that quote form. We'll take care of you from there. So again, check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link as you do that shopping this weekend, this busy holiday season. It's one extra click and it really does help us out. BeOurGuestPodcast.com/Amazon. And a sincere thank you to the patrons of the Be Our Guest Podcast. You make all these shows possible. Couldn't do it without you. And our patrons get that bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come on over and join us this weekend. Patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Give Ricky a follow on social media. She's at Ricky Nibs, RIKKINIBS. Pam's at TMFLT Pam. She's headed out to Disneyland for all the good stuff out there. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. I'll be at the zoo this weekend, so check that out as well. And of course, Sunday night, Scott's back from his trip, and we'll be taking your calls on Sunday night on Facebook and YouTube. So join us at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Give us a call. We'll be talking Disney with you for the BOGP open line Sunday night. All right, time to get out of here. And I'm headed down 70, about 125 miles to the west, and hopefully bringing home some hardware to Weldon Spring, Missouri. So we're going to have a good time. So for Pam and Ricky, I'm Mike, wishing you a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and HOWELL.
Hey.
Boom.
Yay.
Awesome. All right, I gotta fly, so I'll see you guys when I get back.
I will see
All right,
Bye.
deal. Bye. Thank
No, to
you.
Disneyland. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. See ya.
All right. Peace.
Bye.
See ya.